he has this smooth linear progressive action with the throttle, it spun, but didn't have to throw him down. If he snapped on, it would have hurt him. Fair to say?
Yeah.
Not a lot of grip here.
Not a lot of grip, no.
Scale of 1 to 10. 10's rain tire, 1 is a slick. Where are we?
Take a 3.
We're at a 3. It's not great. It's not great. Say that loud. Grip's not great.
Grip's not great.
I'm gonna be extra smooth.
Gonna be extra
I'm
smooth.
gonna be a smooth mofo.
Smooth mofo.
I love my job. And don't be mistaken, I truly enjoy the fact that I get to handle most of Mo's duties in the dirt, but sometimes it's nice to get out of your comfort zone, learn some new skills while brushing up on the foundations you've already built. And that's exactly why I drove 9 hours each way to attend the ChampSchool with Nick Ienatsch and the Yamaha Champions Riding School.
It is nice to get out here on a weekday and do this, but it's kind of my responsibility to get out here and do it too, to make sure that the bikes that I review, I'm giving you, a potential buyer, whoever is looking for that information, everything 100% of what I got, and that's why I was hired, and so that's what I'm here trying to improve my skills. If you have the drive and the desire to learn, getting out to one of these schools can be absolutely life-changing. Yeah, I'm out here doing this for work, but it really applies to anyone that wants to get out here and has the desire to learn. So end of day one here at the Yamaha Champions Riding School. We braved everything from slightly wet tracks to sleet, rain, driving rain, giant puddles on the track. But we made, I think, some really interesting progress, learned a lot today. Got a little bit of riding in and got to ride with E here. What were some of the things that you felt that I needed to work on and what we kind of stopped on the track and talked about?
The biggest thing that I saw was kind of just trying to be the safer rider. The conditions were cold, trying to take away the lean angle, because lean angle in our book equals risk.
Right.
So we want to take that away as much as possible, adding more body, upper body, pushing the thing up off the tire, a little bit lighter, longer on the brakes, getting a little bit better direction so we can maximize those exits and, really respect the direction of the corners.
Being able to have someone give me that feedback and then being able to apply it through the next however many sessions or laps that I get to do, it makes such a huge difference so quickly. Having a qualified instructor, being out there with you, seeing what you're doing, you just see the improvement and everything feels more controlled. I don't feel like I'm out of control coming into corners. I feel like it ties everything together and everything starts making more sense really quickly when you really apply and listen to what you're learning.
If we go to the brakes, we're going to carry our brakes till we're happy with our speed and direction. If we pick up the throttle, it's because we can see our exit and we can take away lean angle. So it's just, we want to use a control to stay in control. It's quality over quantity. So we want to make sure that we're practicing those things, kind of slowing down and really making sure that we're picking our weakest points and putting them at the top of our priority list.
Yeah.
And you really have the desire to want to learn, and you ride pretty damn well. So it's fun to watch, and you have that sparks and you're seeing those things and you're charging after it. That's all we ask for. We ask for you to give us all of you because we're giving you all of us. We're still learning to date. We're watching the best in the world, approaching what they're doing, so it's easier to just pass it on down. Everything that we teach is just highlighted, respecting the slowest point of the corner, maximizing what each corner has to offer. It's fun to be able to go practice the same things that we're teaching here.
I'm looking forward to kind of thinking about everything a little bit more this evening and getting back out tomorrow. I heard it's supposed to be sunnier, a little bit better weather, maybe a little chilly in the morning, but that's all right if we've got sun and we can spin a lot of laps tomorrow. And
yeah,
definitely looking forward to it, man. Awesome, dude. Thank you for everything today.
Yeah, thank you.
At the end of day one, I came away with a ton of information to wrap my head around. I was ready to head back to the hotel to digest what I had learned, and most importantly, to develop a plan of how I'd approach the following day.
So Nick, the YCRS, the Yamaha Champions Riding School, ChampSchool, can you tell us a little bit about what the school is, where it came from, when? Just kind of give us the rundown on what this is all about.
Yamaha Champions Riding School, basically it's a lot of the guys from the Freddie Spencer School. I started with Freddie when he started the school in '97, and I sent him a resume. When I heard about it, he hired me, and I helped him put that together, and we were pretty good buddies on that. When he quit the school business, Yamaha called us up and said, hey, we got to keep that thing rolling. And we were at Miller for 5 years. They owned us, and then when Miller changed to motor cars, we just got some self-sponsorship. Ken Hill and I started YCRS and brought in the whole gang, and then Ken went in a little different direction, and so we've been going pretty strong since '08. And it's the Champ School. It's called Champion School because it's really what are the best in the world doing? You know, how do you win championships? You know, you got to go quick. That's one thing, but you got to be consistent. And so every one of my guys, I think almost to a person, we're racing. Still racing, doing a lot of racing, so we're really interested in not crashing again, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
High on our list. And so what are these guys doing to not crash yet go quick? And that's what we focus with you on the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny, you know, a lot of people watching maybe think like you're getting this tidbit of information that nobody else in the world knows. Right. Only Marquez knows it. Yeah. Nick knows it. You know, a handful of people.
Fair to say, people come into the sport thinking there's a secret formula to it.
What do I do? Right?
So here's what we do. Here's what we do. We take each student, take Rage right here, we take each student and we touch you on the forehead. And now you have it. You understand grip, you understand speed. Wouldn't that be nice? This school would be like a 5-minute school. We'd all touch them, every good. That's not more expensive.
People, but really it's drilling it down to the fundamentals and working on those and mastering those and putting that all together really helps you, ride safer and faster.
Yeah, it really does. Our industry, and you're in the industry, I'm making a living. All my boys here are making a living in this industry, and it's not growing. And one reason is new riders aren't learning the right thing. They're riding along in a 12-foot wide lane with texting drivers and deer and gravel and all the other drama of street. And if you don't control the motorcycle perfectly, it gets pretty tough. So the idea that the motorcycle doesn't know or care where it is, whether it's on Elkhart Lake racetrack or your back river road, it works best when ridden a certain way, and that's what we drill down to. We really get you riding it best, and so I can't wait till you street ride again. I can't wait till my students go home and street ride because they're going to find out, oh, the bike is working just as it was designed to work on the racetrack, street, parking lot. If we could prototype a student, it'd be you. You come in focused, you're making a living, so you can't really fall off. You can't be walking around with your arm in a sling and try to be a journalist, motor journalist. So when people are interested in coming to the school, come in focused like Ryan did, and we'll just keep feeding information to you. He worked with Isaiah Davis. He just won the middleweight Weir National Championship endurance race, right? So he went really, really quick all season long, got the #1 plate on his wall, big check in his pocket, and that's who you're working with. And one of the things that we've learned with coaching is it's all in. It's got to be all in. And all my boys come in, they give it all, because coaching halfway, saying, oh, that's pretty good is not going to work when the pace comes up. So it's got to be right, and that's what we work hard on. And you did great, man. I know I know we're shooting the film and everything, but he did really well, and it was gratifying to watch him improve.
You guys are giving your all, but it's really important for the student to come out here and give it their all too, because if you don't, you're wasting time and money.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, this is big money, right? You're going to come out here and spend some money, you're going to take some time, and we're going to give you everything we've got. And this came from, I went to a school at Laguna Seca back in the day. It was a car school, 3-day car school, and the instructor sat there on the desk with his arms crossed talking down to us. And man, I remember sitting there saying, I'm paying this money for have you talking to me like that? And I just remember thinking at that point, when I do these things, I was teaching at Willow Springs at the time, it's going to be all in, give it all, or quit. And that's who I am. And so when that's how our whole gang is. And if you've got to do something, if you've got to work, if you work hard at it, you succeed, and time goes by pretty quick. I mean, at the end of 2 days, how much fun do we have? Right? It seems like it's over, and it's all because my instructors are giving it all, and then we get that from the students back, and it's a fantastic way to make a living.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
More things.
So Chris, on this one, we've been watching you, and we think that you're screwing this whole sport up. The secret to this sport is the throttle. To go fast, more throttle. So Chris, when I drop my arm, you pick up the throttle. Copy?
You can tell that everyone's putting their all into it, you can tell that you've been doing it for a long time, because there's some silly little things.
Okay, so when I drop my arm, everybody, what's gonna happen? He picked it up gently, but everybody, the engineer said, I'm done steering, I pick my throttle up and forks extend, the bike runs wide. That's how it's designed. That's the problem.
You know, if you don't pay attention, maybe you don't realize what's behind it, but silly little drills.
On your marks, get set, go! 1, 2, no! Jumping jacks, gotta go back! Jumping jacks, gotta go back!
Do them there, do them there, do them. Okay, now go, now go. You can still win it. Look at Ray, he's getting his all ready. Never give up. No throttle, no throttle, no throttle.
There we go!
Leader, again.
You almost don't realize it until you're forced to do those odd things, and then you realize how important just the basic principles again are.
And we have a certain amount of time we have to stuff things in. And you and I had a conversation about how we change the curriculum as we get better at it. And so the class you came to this month will be slightly tweaked for next month. Last month we had some issues with the weather, so we put in those pointy cones. We talked more about cold tires. So we just keep tweaking it and getting it better. And you know, this is, for all y'all that are racing out there, this is how a racer acts. He or she is never really happy. When you win, you're happy, but you don't learn anything. It's when you get your ass kicked, right?
Definitely.
You're like, wow, I really got to pick my game up here.
It's getting that whole upper body into play. Your big thing was you're starting in the center of the seat a lot, right? So this next session out, just no sitting in the center. Doesn't matter, like come out of turn 2, the whole way down the straightaway, your butt's off to the right-hand side.
So we take a look at our schools, and every time we have something we're not quite happy with, man, it's a big meeting of the minds. We're talking about things. All my guys I have a lot of respect for, they throw out ideas, and we just keep up in the game, we hope. And hopefully that it meets the needs of the students, because really, if you're doing a school and the students don't go away really on this path to be a very, very good rider all their lives, you're wasting your time.
Even though it was sleeting and hailing yesterday, I still felt like we had a whole day in.
Yeah.
You know, we had a lot of instruction and a lot of Ford Transit racing around the track in the rain.
Kyle's going to run ahead of us, and he's going to be the guy who rushes the corner entry. In fact, he'll be faster than at corner entry, but watch how it comes back on corner exit. Good? So let's just watch this, and we will be able to pass him if we do things right, if we stick with our ballpark. So watch how his brakes are going to come off too early. He's going to rush in there with no brakes. He's just waiting on him, right? Everybody see that? Everybody see just rushing. We could have passed him there again. Just waiting, like, okay, he's trying harder. He's not as fast, and he's not as safe. He's not as fast. He's not as safe. Just waiting on him, just waiting on him. Let's get direction, let's get direction. There we go, we've got direction. He doesn't, and he's just barely hanging off. I back off so I don't take him out. So he's trying harder at every corner entry, and he's trying pretty hard. You can see the vans all over the place. His pulse rate's up, he's really struggling. We're just waiting on him again, just waiting. Could have passed him again right there, and I gotta go to the brakes to not pass him.
We still did so much, and then today we got to ride more because we covered a lot of that stuff yesterday.
That's right. We knocked it out of the park, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there's a golden rule out there. You know, treat others as you'd like to be treated. You know, it's not a bad way to live a life. But how about teach your school that way? Teach the school you'd like to take. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to show up and sit in a classroom for 3 hours, right? I want things to be happening and moving, and I want to ride. So at the end of the day, we literally gave you guys an option. What do you want to do? These are your choices, and we went with pretty much the let's ride some more choice, right? So that's the way we feel about it. And when I show up at an event, I want to get in and do it. And I mean, you're the same guy.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we had a great class. I think everyone felt the same way. So yeah, getting in there and doing it is what, you know, you can listen to a class, watch YouTube all day, but you know, getting into a class with people that are knowledgeable and know what they're talking about, and then applying it directly, having an instructor follow you, tell you, let's tweak that a little bit more. It's incomparable to anything else.
Thanks, Manny. I appreciate it. It's really good. The one thing we didn't have any women in this class. We usually average 3 women. My wife's taking the class. I just wanted to let female riders know, man, the motorcycle works with certain inputs, and it doesn't matter what gender, race, creed, color, height, age. It all works. We had a 73-year-old gentleman here, and we had 18-year-olds like him. Worked out pretty good. Worked out pretty good.
Thank you and all the other guys so much for having Motorcycle.com out here. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this will get me a chance to knock Troy out of the fast seat every once in a while and get some more track time. Yeah. We'll see. But again, Nick, thank you so much for putting the school together, and thank you for what you do out there in the community. You're a great journalist as well. You know, it's been a real pleasure to be here with you.
I tell you, I am a journalist, and I was a journalist since 1984. And to me, you do have to ride well. This next one, especially when you start riding fast shit, right? Stuff that's really, really moving. I want you to use your brakes 10 feet longer than you think is perfect. So I want you to turn the bike in, and instead of thinking, I'm good here, nope, you force yourself to use them 10 more feet. And what'll happen is you'll start to use them later because you're gonna use them longer. So you start destroying people on the brakes because you're gonna use them so far in the corner. So 10 feet longer, see what you think. Because you are gonna take a new motorcycle and you're gonna decide people's purchasing based on what you ride.
It's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility. Yep. So the better you ride, the more you understand how the bike is designed to work, the better it goes. And I think this school hopefully is an insight into, hey, how does the bike work? How can the rider work within that?
Absolutely. And being adjustable and being able to adapt to every different bike is obviously very important for both of our jobs. And yeah, that's definitely a takeaway.
Yeah, cool.
Right on. All right, guys, so that's the end of the day here at Yamaha Champions Riding School. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I think that pretty much does it. So we're going to take off for the day.